Good afternoon, everyone. This is your host, David John Oates, for the weekly Reverse Speech show, which I bring to you from all over the world. And the show this afternoon is brought to you live from Canada. So here I am up in the way up north now, long way from Australia, which is, of course, where I usually bring my show to you from, in Adelaide, Australia. But I'm on my little American lecture tour. Well, not a lecture tour. No, I've only got one lecture. I've got to tell you about that. On my lecture, well, I'm visiting analysts and students, and we're doing some filming for the documentary in Ashland. And then we're so let me tell you about that. I've got a lecture in Ashland on May the 27th at the Ashland Public Library, and that is at 7:30. Ashland Public Library, 7:30, May 27th, and that's the only lecture I'm doing in the United States. So if you're anywhere near Ashland, maybe you're in Central California, Northern California, come in. A couple of people are flying in from all over the country to the lecture. So we're expecting a good crowd to be there, and it'll be an important lecture for my documentary crew, and they will be filming. And if you have any interesting testimonials you want to share about reverse speech, well, then of course you can get yourself on camera. So how would that be? Or maybe you just want to sit in the background. That's quite okay too. So there we go. May 27th. That's a Saturday night, I believe, at the Ashland Public Library in Ashland, California. So be there. Okay. And for those of you who are in England, I will be in London on June the 1st is when I land. And of course, I have an all-day lecture and workshop on June the 10th at the Grand Connaught Rooms in London. So we would love to see you. That's 6 full hours with me. Well, actually, we'll have a break for lunch, so 5 hours, and we'll be doing some live demonstrations and getting people up from the audience, and I'll be playing a lot of the current reversals. So come along, join me in London if you're in England, listening to the show, as I know many of you are, and thank you very much. I enjoy my listeners from all over the world and hearing from you. And if you're in America, Ashland's the place to be, May 27th. So, okay, our lineup for the show today is I'm going to start off delving into the archives, as I have been doing for the last several months, and haven't had much time to get any current reversals myself. Of course, I do have. I do have my lady in Canada who gets some reversals for the Jeff Rent show, and we got some great ones on the Jeff Rent show tonight. I'm on from 9 to 10, so some new hot reversals. But of course, I'm sort of get so busy with session work that I just don't get much time to explore as much as I would like. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I need to multiply myself. Somehow I'm going to wave a magic wand and bang, there'll be 2 of me. How about that, hey? Oh dear, that would be rather horrifying. Anyway, okay, so we're going to delve into the archives tonight, and that's in hour 1, of course. And in hour 2, we are going to be having my guest, reverse speech student. I think she's got her investigator's certificate, Barbera Salerno. She'll be joining me live on the air, and she sent me 30-odd reversals to play, so that should all be very interesting. So we'll have her live on the air this afternoon from 3 to 4. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to shoot over to the reversals I've got all prepared for you tonight, and we're delving into material from 2014 is what we're looking at, and specifically June 2014. So here we have George Bush. Gee, I wonder what he's doing talking in 2014. That was the Obama era. Anyway, let's run this forwards.
As we mourn the loss of thousands of our citizens.
And And reversal is job of the Zion.
Job of the Zion.
Wow.
Job of the Zion.
That's clear.
Job of the Zion.
Wow. Incidentally, if you want to call in and speak to me live on the air, the call-in number is 844-769-2944. That's 844-769-2944, toll-free if you're in the United States. And as you know, I love to get your calls. Call in and say hi. Tell me what you think about all of this. All right, here's another one on Bush from 2014.
America today is on bended knee in prayer for the people whose lives were lost here.
And saw 1,000 more people, is what he says backwards. I'll be bothered. Clear as day. You know, I often say to myself, you know, the skeptics just need to come and sit next to me in my house for one day. Watch me do my tapes. Send me find my reversals. And if that doesn't convince you, then I'm sorry. You think that, you know, I better not say what I was going to say. I'm going to debunk some famous conspiracy theory, and I better not do that. I'll get myself into trouble. I have enough trouble on my hands with reverse speech. All right, here is a reversal from George Orwell. Gee, this must be nice, old.
There will be no loyalty except loyalty to the party. But always there will be the intoxication of power.
Wow, and the reversal says his apathy is loyal.
His apathy is loyal.
Huh.
His apathy is loyal.
It's not his apathy is loyal, it's his apathy's loyal.
His apathy is loyal.
Yeah, there it is.
His apathy is loyal.
Huh, interesting reversal.
His apathy is loyal.
Interesting reversal. And here's another one from George Orwell.
He knew, of course, why I had been sent to him, and had already taken a bone-handled riding crop out of the cupboard. He read me a short but pompous lecture.
And this one says, so ashamed of it.
So ashamed of it.
Huh, I'll be bothered.
So ashamed of it.
Yeah, there we go.
So ashamed of it.
Okay, yep, all right. And here we have John Kerry, Secretary of State at the time.
Has some money been stolen? Absolutely.
And here he says, it looks to be the Mossad.
No, looks to be on the side.
Huh.
No, looks to be on the side. No, looks to be on the side.
Not the clearest reverse in the world. The D's a little bit soft on that one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Here's a Kerry again.
To be certain of that determination, I think what he's really saying is be sure before you make the decision, and he's right, and that's what we're trying to do.
And this one is sheep sing yes.
Sheep sing yes.
Huh.
Sheep sing yes.
I wonder what that means.
Sheep sing yes.
Okay. Well, sheep, we are the sheep looking for the shepherd. Sheep sing yes. I want to listen to the forwards again. This is weird. I'm not too sure what this reversal means in context.
To be certain of that determination, I think what he's really saying is be sure before you make the decision, and he's right, and that's what we're trying to do.
I have no idea what the reversal means. Sheep sing yes.
Sheep sing yes.
Sheep sing yes.
Okay, well, whatever. I'm sorry, folks. Don't know what that one means. Here's another one on John Kerry.
I'll certainly review any program that we're engaged in now, and if you have any information about something we're doing now that somebody's stealing, let me know immediately. But let me just come back to one thing about this.
And this is they named it One Evil.
They named it One Evil.
Wow.
They named it One immediately. But let me just...
Oh, what happened then? My software jumped. All right.
They named it One Evil. They named it One Evil.
Wow.
They named it One Evil.
Oh, well, gee whiz, maybe John Kerry was a bit of a duck. They named it One Evil. Wonder who he's talking about. Here, let's listen to the forwards again on this one. Complementarity, always important, folks. You know, I drum this lesson into my students in my classes. Complementarity, the forwards and the reverse relate to each other. 99% of the, let's say 95% of the cases. Okay, so here we go.
I'll certainly review any program that we're engaged in now. And if you have any information about something we're doing now that somebody's stealing, let me know immediately. But let me just come back to one thing about
Oh, right. So he's talking about someone stealing. Let me know immediately. So he's aware of theft going on inside the State Department or covert operations. They named it One Evil.
One evil.
Wow.
One evil. One evil.
All right. Next one along on John Kerry.
So historically, yeah, but you know, some of the riches of people who have ripped off their own governments.
And this one says they're with the Masonic.
They're with the Masonic.
I'll be bothered.
They're with the Masonic.
Huh.
They're with the Masonic.
Huh, I'll be bothered. Huh. Well, they're with the Masonic. Okay. Next one along, John McCain. Oh, this was like typical McCain.
Crimea is now at least in itself a captive nation, and I think that Moldova is under threat.
I would bomb them.
I would bomb them.
Oh!
I would bomb them.
Wow.
I would bomb them.
Well, that's John McCain, isn't it? John McCain, I would bomb them. Here's another one, John McCain.
I think the fundamental problem here with our relations with Vladimir Putin is we fail to appreciate that he is a KGB colonel.
And here he says, we'll barf on him enough.
We'll barf on him enough.
Whoa.
We'll barf on him enough.
Massive troop build up on the Russian border, from Ukraine. Wow, I don't know what's going on there, but there's thousands of troops and tanks all amassed along the Russian border right now as I speak. Interesting stuff. All right, here is a chap called Michael Chertoff, who I no idea who this is. So here we go.
The issue of terrorism is now equal in importance, and we didn't have a legal model that helped us deal with that. So one of the things I think Congress hasn't done and needs to do is to actually sit down and think through in a bipartisan way, what is the legal architecture we need?
And this is was annoyed.
Was annoyed.
Oh, yeah.
Was annoyed.
That's clear.
Was annoyed.
Okay, all right. Here we have Benjamin Netanyahu.
First of all, in those years, they fired about 10,000 rockets.
And I guess he's talking about who would have fired 10,000 rockets? I'm not sure. There's a reason.
There's a reason, isn't it?
Huh.
There's a reason, isn't it? There's a reason, isn't it?
Of course, the verse unfortunately doesn't tell us what the reason is. And here we have Netanyahu again.
If he continues with the pact with Hamas, he's essentially buried it.
Okay, this was Usama who copied the West.
This was Usama who copied the West.
Wow, that's a clear one. Whoa, let me play that one again in the normal speed. Listen to the nice, beautiful sing-song musical tone to it. This is a classic reversal. This was Usama who copied the West.
This was Usama who copied the West.
Wow.
This was Usama who copied the West. This was Usama who copied the West.
Huh, I'll be bothered. What an interesting reversal. All right. Here we have, Russell Brand.
With consciousness for the merest moments in infinite space. Meditation and yoga, these are fundamental parts of my life. I think it's difficult these days with religion getting such a rough ride.
I don't know whether we'll hear this reversal because the music's a bit too loud. And I'll dream of sense. Oh, yeah, I mean, it's certainly there, but his music wasn't as loud over that as I thought it was. All right, we're going to move on to June 2015, And we have some reversals: Ann Coulter, Bernie Sanders, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Jeb Bush. And Trump. Okay, so this is June 15. This is when the election campaign was really just getting started. Okay, so let's run the forwards here. This is Ann Coulter.
If the demographics of this country had not changed so dramatically because of immigration, Romney would have won a bigger landslide than Reagan did against Carter in 1980.
And this reversal says, and he's on the rocks.
And he's on the rocks.
Huh.
And he's on the rocks. And he's on the rocks.
Well, that reversal is certainly there. There's no doubt about that, is there? Okay, all right. So here we have Ann Coulter again.
Buses and subways, as they have in India and Mexico, because of the way women are treated and sexually abused there. Get used to your little girls being raped and being pregnant. Get used to not being able to go to your national parks because they're being burnt down. Pot farms are being grown there. Pesticides dumped all over.
I wish this were hyperbole and you were just being a cartoon version of Ann Coulter, but.
And this one says, it's horrible.
It's horrible.
Huh.
It's horrible.
Yeah, well.
It's horrible.
Well, I guess it is horrible, isn't it? She's being nice and congruent. I'd say that was horrible. All right, so Ann Coulter again.
We need a pause. We need a 10-year moratorium. We can assimilate the ones already here. We definitely need a fence on the border.
And this one says, now we'll kiss this nigger.
No, we'll kill this nigger.
Oh, kill this nigger. Oh, not kiss. I'm sorry, folks. Now we'll kill this nigger.
No, we'll kill this nigger.
Oh.
No, we'll kill this nigger.
Nasty reversal.
No, we'll kill this nigger.
Oh, what's the forwards again?
We need a pause. We need a 10-year moratorium. We can assimilate the ones already here. We definitely need a fence on the border.
Oh, talk about illegal immigrants. Oh, my gosh. Now we'll kill this nigger. Oh, my. Ann Coulter. You are a naughty young woman.
No, we'll kill this nigger. No, we'll kill this nigger. No, we'll kill this nigger.
Yeah, so reverse speech just seems to come out with these little gems of reversals sometimes, and no decorum in reverse speech. It is what it is. All right. So now we've got Ann Coulter again. Let's run this one forward.
Hands in refusing to vote for Romney because he's a Mormon.
He got more of the evangelical vote than McCain or Reagan.
And this is They're All Muggy.
They're all muggy.
Huh.
They're all muggy.
I'll be bothered.
They're all muggy.
I guess so. They're all muggy. Well, let's listen to the fours again on this.
Hands in refusing to vote for Romney because he's a Mormon.
He got more of the evangelical vote than McCain or Reagan.
And they're all muggy.
They're all muggy. They're all muggy. They're all muggy.
Yep, there we go. All right, now we have Bernie Sanders. Oh, yes. Now, this is a classic reversal from the beginning of his election campaign. Those of you who listen to my show on a regular basis will know this reversal well. I'll play the reversal, then I'll talk about it. So here's Bernie Sanders.
If a local, state, or federal government wants to protect the environmental needs of our people, they can be taken to an international tribunal because they threaten future profits. That is not what democracy is about. This is a bad agreement following other bad agreements. It must be defeated, and I thank my friends in the House for their efforts.
And this one says, all this evil dem around me.
Well,
okay, all the evil Democrats who were plotting against him. That's what that means. And, of course, it actually came out later on in the election. For those of you who follow the election closely, you can remember that, which I did follow the election very closely. It came out that the DNC were actively plotting against Bernie Sanders to get Hillary Clinton in. Looks like they made a mistake, doesn't it, folks? All right, here's Bernie Sanders again.
by that comment. And I know it's been on the internet. I am obviously an American citizen.
And here he says, I'm a citizen.
I'm a citizen.
I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen.
Yep, there we go. No worries at all. Okay, and Bernie Sanders.
The only way that change takes place, in my view, is when millions of people stand up and say, enough is enough. And it's not just with police brutality. Enough is enough when the great middle class of this country is disappearing. How does it happen?
This one says, is it funny?
Is it funny?
Huh.
Is it funny? Is it funny?
Well, I don't think it's funny. But anyway, he is asking a question, so we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, here's Bernie Sanders again. We're looking at reversals from June 2015. We've been going through my archives for the last 3 or 4 months now. It started back in 96 when I started keeping reversals in digital format. Before they were all audio tapes. So here we have Bernie Sanders.
If a country or a state wants to protect its kids from tobacco and smoking, they could be taken to an international tribunal.
And here he says it's... Oh, hang on, I lost it. I'm sorry about that. Okay, snakes, they can't help us now.
Snakes, they can't help us now.
Huh.
Snakes, they can't help us now. Snakes, they can't help us now.
And that doesn't sound like now on then. It sounds like so or slow.
Snakes, they can't help us now.
Snakes, they can't help us now.
Yeah, I can't get that last word. Sorry about that. All right, folks, we're going to go to our break. We will be back right after this.
What if we already know how to prevent and to reverse every known so-called disease? What if the government is in cahoots with the allopathic system to hide this information from you to keep you weak and enslaved to their system? What if living a higher quality of life than you ever thought possible was available to you now? Well, it's true. It's easier and more cost-effective than you think, and so life-changing that your only regret will not be having done it sooner. Because you already know what the answer is. Royal Velvet Pure. You've heard Jeff talk about it. You've heard the incredible testimonies that it has scores of benefits and it works for everyone. Now you may not know this. We have partnered with Jeff to empower you, giving you an opportunity we do not give anyone else. When you buy 2 Royal Velvet Pure, we give you another one free. Want to take that first step toward freedom and positive transformation? Go to royalvelvetnow.com. Click on the rinse icon in the upper right-hand corner or call us toll-free, 1-877-488-7423.
Would you like to change your life? Maybe access your deepest potential? Do you have blocks that hold you back? Or long-term issues you haven't been able to resolve? Then Reverse Speech Session Work is for you. With Reverse Speech Session Work, your voice is recorded and then analysed for speech reversals. These reversals will give a detailed look into the unconscious mind and pinpoint precise reasons for current behavioural problems. Then following another recording, a series of metaphoric journeys into the unconscious mind are mapped out and delivered to you. These journeys will change deep unconscious structures and hence current behaviour. Change your life today. Sign up for Reverse Speech Session Work. Go to www.reversespeech.com or call 503-568-7077. Okay, we are back for the second half of the first hour of the show, where I typically play reversals, and we are looking at some reversals from June 2015. So here we have Bernie Sanders. We'll run this forwards.
You know, my dad came to this country from Poland at the age of 17 without a nickel in his pocket, loved this country.
And here he says, the cops, they know it.
The cops, they know it.
Huh.
The cops, they know it. The cops, they know it.
Well, I'll be bothered. All right, here he is again.
About all of the jobs that these trade agreements would create. And over again, the proponents of unfettered free trade were wrong.
And this is the mere videos keep it.
The mere videos keep it.
I'll be bothered.
The mere videos keep it.
There it is.
The mere videos keep it.
Oh, what a strange reversal. Huh. Let's listen to the forwards again. See if we can work out what this one means.
About all of the jobs that these trade agreements would create. And over again, the proponents of unfettered free trade were wrong.
And the mere videos keep it.
The mere videos keep it.
I'll be bothered.
The mere videos keep it. The mere videos keep it.
Well, I'll let you ponder the meaning of that one. I don't know. Here we have Bernie Sanders again.
And like you, I want to make sure that the world that we leave them is a beautiful world where people can live full and dignified lives.
And this one says, we are forbidden you're filled with more people.
We are forbidden more people.
Wow.
We are forbidden more people.
I'll be bothered.
We are forbidden more people.
It's faint, but I think you should be able to get that. Let's do it again. We are forbidden you're filled with more people.
We are forbidden more people.
I'll be bothered. Huh. Yeah, it's really hard to tell on that one. I mean, the reversal's there, but these have some rather bizarre meanings. All right, here we have Bill Clinton, ex-president, former President Bill Clinton. You could think of a few other titles to give him too, but I'm on the air. I can't say them. Here's the forwards.
To hold a community together, you've got to have a high level of community trust. If somebody that's in your family gets shot, you want an answer from somebody you know.
And this reversal says, our shame, am I free yet?
Our shame, am I free yet?
Huh.
Our shame, am I free yet?
Yeah, certainly there.
Our shame, am I free yet?
I'll be bothered. Our shame, am I free yet? Well, of course, it's the our shame who's in contact with the forwards, but he's certainly not free of it. I think any one of us is, certainly in America anyway. All right, here's the next one on Bill Clinton.
That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
That's not Bill Clinton. That's Barack Obama. Well, this one's labeled wrong. Sorry about that, folks.
That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
And they'll mock your money.
They'll mock your money.
Huh.
They'll mock your money.
I'll be bold.
They'll mock your money.
Huh. They'll mock your money. Well, I don't know. He got just paid some exorbitant fee. It was in the millions for some appearance, Barack Obama. And I can't remember what it was now. I remember reading about it. All right, here we have, it says, black and white fight in the streets of New York. Whoops, play it again.
You didn't know that shit? Oh, see, you didn't know.
You ain't coming for me.
You didn't know that you can't. That's why I stopped him. Because this motherfucker should be bowing to him.
Oh, excuse me.
Why should you be bowing?
All right, and this is, they shine on, you kill them. Oh, yeah. Okay, so they shine on you, then there's a break, followed by kill them. Here we go, I'll play it again for you. Oh, actually, I think as they shine on you, don't you kill them. Let me do this again. They shine on you, don't kill them. Yeah, there it is. Huh, interesting reversal. This is a street fight. Cause a good place to find reversals. Emotions are high. Certainly find reversals more in that situation than any other. Don't forget, if you want to call me on the air, the toll-free number is 844-769-2944. 844-769-2944. You can call me toll-free from anywhere in the United States. Okay, here we have Chris Christie.
I am not going to be the governor who is going to tell our children and our young adults that marijuana use is okay, because it's not.
And here he says, I believe in no gun.
I believe in no gun.
Huh.
I believe in no gun. I believe in no gun.
Well, I wouldn't have thought that would have been Chris Christie's opinion. I thought he'd be for guns, being the Republican that he is. Huh. A little bit puzzled over that one. All right, okay. Let's move on to the next one here. This is UN Secretary at the time, Christina Figueres. I'm sure I've pronounced that wrong, so please forgive me.
We are already exceeding the planetary carrying capacity.
And here she says, the Mideast get in a war.
The Mideast get in a war.
Huh.
The Mideast get in a war.
Yeah, well, they're always in a war, aren't they?
In a war.
Unfortunately, that's such a troubled region of the planet. I don't know what's going to fix that one up. Gee whiz. Okay, here we have Hillary Clinton.
Democracy can't be just for billionaires.
And here she says, I am a liberal. Okay, I didn't need a reversal to know that.
Brand new liberal.
Yeah.
Brand new liberal. Brand new liberal.
Yes, well, we certainly knew that, Hillary. Anyway, there you go. The reversal is just stating the obvious. And here she is again.
America can't succeed unless you succeed.
And here she says, we sell that.
We sell that.
We sell that. We sell that.
Yep, okay. And now we've got, here we have Jeb Bush.
Putin, you need to deal from strength. He's a bully. And bullies don't, you enable bad behavior when you're nuanced with a guy like that. And I think just being clear, I'm not talking about being bellicose, but saying here are the consequences of your actions. And that would deter the kind of bad outcome that we don't want to see.
And here he says, and I want to win the fight.
And I want to win the fight.
Huh.
And I want to win the fight.
And I want to win the fight. Well, she did want to win the fight, but didn't have much success, did he? And here he says,
this will be the most extraordinary time to be alive. I totally believe that, and I hope that you do too, because our children and grandchildren are deserving of that very basic promise.
Okay, so this is obviously from an advert, and he says, the Bush calls and he was good. Huh. Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, that's true. All right. Where is the next one here? Here we go.
Putin, you need to deal from strength. He's a bully.
And here he says, the fighting, it ain't over. Oh, yeah. Well, it ain't over. I don't know. This is interesting because lately I don't know why I chose these reversals from 2015, but they're all pointing to a war, and we've pointed this out before when I've appeared on the Jeff Wrench show. How some of the latest reversals on Trump and his cabinet are certainly pointing in that direction. But here we have the same thing on Bush, Jeb Bush from 2015. Interesting. Okay. All right. Oh, here's someone who we call Pastor Stephen Anderson.
Then there's the imprecatory prayer, which is reserved for just only the sickest, most violent, wicked, filthy, disgusting, filthy sinners.
And this would be, you're a nasty boy.
You're an nasty boy.
Huh.
You're an nasty boy. You're a nasty boy.
Oh yeah, there you go. How's that for a verse on an evangelist? Let's run this one forwards again.
Then there's the imprecatory prayer, which is reserved for just only the sickest, most violent, wicked, filthy, disgusting, filthy sinners.
You're a nasty boy.
You're a nasty boy.
You're a nasty boy.
That's like,
You're a nasty boy.
That's like, a bastard. This is his unconscious talking to him. This is his spirit speaking to him, chastising him as he is chastising others. His spirit is chastising him. And that small, still voice within, we're going to talk about that in my next book. Actually, well, I'll tell you that when I come back from America. I'm going to start to write my next book, and the book title is going to be The Small, Still Voice. And it's going to get into some of the spiritual aspects of reverse speech. And because at the deepest level, reverse speech is the small, still voice, the voice of the spirit speaking to us. Sometimes it tells us good things. It encourages us and praises us, and other times it chastises us and points out where we are wrong. And whether we hear that voice of the Spirit and act upon it is really another question altogether. Here we have Pat Robertson.
No Christian in his right mind would ever try to enforce somebody against their belief or else suffer jail. Now, they did that during the Inquisition.
And this one says, feel the breath snake.
Feel the breath snake.
Oh, my.
Feel the breath snake. Feel the breath snake.
Oh, dear me. Feel the breath snake. Wow. Okay, all right. So it's just amazing to me how evangelists, well, not all of them, but how many of them have consistently bad reversals.
I mean, if the gays want to go out and do their gay sex, that's one thing. But if they want to force you to accept it and solemnify it by marriage, then that's a different matter. And it's an infringement on people's religious beliefs.
Wow, that's a pretty strong statement to make about gays getting married. And backwards said, I'm not the alpha.
I'm not the alpha.
Oh, yes.
I'm not the alpha.
Oh, yes.
I'm not the alpha.
Okay, well, I'll be bothered. Yeah, well, okay. Alpha is a metaphor in reverse speech, short for alpha and omega. So I'm not God. I don't have the power to say this thing. This is, let's run this one again.
I mean, if the gays want to go out and do their gay sex, that's one thing. But if they want to force you to accept it and solemnify it by marriage, then that's a different matter. And it's an infringement on people's religious beliefs.
And the reversal is, I am not the alpha.
I am not the alpha.
I am not the alpha. I am not the alpha.
Wow. Basically, he doesn't have the authority to state what he's just stated. That's an interesting one. And here we have Trump.
Thousands in Iraq. We have wounded soldiers who I love. They're great. All over the place. Thousands and thousands of wounded soldiers.
And this one says, all know she's worse.
All know she's worse?
Huh.
All
He's talking about Hillary. Yeah, he's talking about Hillary. He's having a go at her. Yeah, okay, all right. And now we're looking at Trump again.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
Wow. Okay, and here he says, in a real shift.
In a real shift.
Wow.
In a real shift.
Clear reversal.
In a real shift.
In other words, he's going to make real changes. And, look, I don't want to get into whether you like Trump or not. I don't want to get me into trouble. In a real shift, he's going to make changes. He's going to make significant changes is basically what the reversal means. Okay, so here we have Trump again.
2,300 sophisticated vehicles they ran, and the enemy took them. You're right.
And here he says, so I paved the naked surface. Oh, yes, I know what that means. I know what it means. He built his road. Okay, he saw the opportunity and he's built his road and he built it all the way to the White House. He paved the naked service, naked, hopeful, willing, free. So, all right, so let's move on to our next one here, which is probably also on Trump. And here we go.
We have a disaster called the Big Lie, Obamacare. Yesterday it came out that costs are going for people up 29, 39, 49, and even 55%. And deductibles are through the roof. You have to get hit by a tractor, literally a tractor, to use it. Because the deductibles are so high, it's virtually useless. It is a disaster.
And this one says, they are horses.
They are horses.
Huh.
They are horses.
I'll be bothered.
They are horses.
I don't know what he means by that. Horses means to move forward spiritually. They are horses. But I can't see how that relates to the forwards. Anyway, next one along.
And these aren't the best and the finest. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us.
And here he says, we need the Senate, stabbing in the Senate.
We need the Senate. We need the Senate.
Oh, it says we need the Senate twice. We need the Senate. We need the Senate, stabbing in the Senate.
We need the Senate. We need the Senate. Stabbing in the Senate.
Huh.
We need the Senate. We need the Senate. Stabbing in the Senate.
Huh, interesting. They did get the Senate, so I guess it means that. All right, okay, so that's it from June 2015. Now we're going to go to July 2014. I have about 9 minutes left, and if you want to call in these last 9 minutes, well, it's not the last 9 minutes of the show, the last minute of my segment of the show, it's 844-769-2944. Toll free in the United States, 844-769-2944. All right, here we have reverse on Bruce Lee.
I mean, I don't want to sound like, as Confucius say, but under the sky, under the heaven, man, there is but one family. It just so happened, man, that people are different.
And here he says, I'll be dead man.
No, dead man.
Oh, wow.
No. Dead man.
Wow.
No. Good man.
Whoa, how's that for a future tense reversal? You know what? I'm going to save that one. This falls in the category reversals that we call premonitions. Now, I've covered this on my show before and played a couple of quite famous premonitions. Certainly on you will, for those who listen to the show on a regular basis, you'll be aware of the reversal on the highway. There's a chill here, which was a premonition for me getting caught in a snowstorm. So this is Bruce Lee, of course, who died very young. I can't actually remember how he died. He was murdered, wasn't he? Gee whiz, I can't remember now. Huh, how strange. All right. Premonition, that's just saved in a special folder now, so I can go back and pull that up any time. That's one I want to keep and play as an illustration of what we're talking about. But in the meantime, we're going to go back to 2014. We were looking at July 2014. And here we are. Okay, here's Dick Cheney.
At the same time, the president announces a complete withdrawal from Afghanistan.
And here he says, because it's on reserve and I'd mess it up.
Because it's on reserve and I'd mess it up.
Oh, bothered.
Because it's on reserve and I'd mess it up.
There it is.
Because it's on reserve and I'd mess it up.
Yeah, well, Sonny there. There's absolutely no doubt about that. All right, here's the next one.
12 years ago, and that I worry about today, is that there will be another 9/11 attack, and that the next time it'll be with weapons far deadlier.
And here he says, enable when there's a hit, or where there's a hit. Enable where there's a hit.
Enable where there's a hit.
Wow.
Enable where there's a hit. Enable where there's a hit.
In other words, you know, if they're hit, they're going to hit back, basically. That's a typical Cheney attitude, I would have thought. Next reversal along.
We have 40 brigades in the United States Army.
And this one says, it'll fail.
It'll fail.
Wow.
It'll fail. It'll fail.
Huh, I wonder what he means by that. It'll fail. Enable when there's a hit, and it'll fail. And here we have the next one.
That we're missing the boat. We don't understand the nature of the threat, and we're unwilling to deal with it.
And this one says, stand and answer.
Stand and answer.
Stand and answer.
Huh.
Stand and answer.
Yeah, well, stand and answer. Stand up and be counted, basically. And next one.
The scope of the problem, in part, is based upon an unwillingness by the president to recognize we have a problem.
And here we say, then we'll barf with that bullshit.
Then we'll barf with that bullshit.
Oh!
Then we'll barf with that bullshit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Then we'll barf with that bullshit.
I mean, I'm not saying the messages are good, but the reversal's a good one. It's a nice, clear, obvious reversal. Not always easy to get clear reversals in the media. So the clearest ones are in the public speech, not public speech, are in the private session work and private conversations. And reversals are just stunningly, remarkably clear in that situation. Clarity drops off in the media. So there we go. All right, here we have one on David Icke on Jeff Rent's show.
Conference in 1897 was supposed to be in Munich, Germany. But they had to move it to Basel, Switzerland because of opposition in Germany by Jewish people who didn't agree with all this stuff about relocating everybody to Israel as part of the Zionist plan.
And this one says, they're Jewish, they'll be an American.
You're Jewish, you'll be an American. You're Jewish, you'll be an American.
You're Jewish, you'll be an American.
I don't think it's American. I think I'd try that reversal out.
You're Jewish, you'll be an American.
No, it's not American, it's immersion. Immersion. Not a good one. All right, here we have, Michael Jackson.
Something like leeches. I was so tired of it. They start out the most popular person in the world, make a lot of money, big house, cars, and everything, end up with penniless. It's conspiracy. The choose to do it on purpose.
And this one is they're not really Jewish.
Not really Jewish.
Huh.
Not really Jewish.
Huh. Okay. All right. We'll be back right after this, folks. My guest, Barbera Salerno. We'll see you shortly. Would you like to change your life? Maybe access your deepest potential? Do you have blocks that hold you back? Or long-term issues you haven't been able to resolve? Then Reverse Speech Session Work is for you. With Reverse Speech Session Work, your voice is recorded and then analysed for speech reversals. These reversals will give a detailed look into the unconscious mind and pinpoint precise reasons for current behavioural problems. Then following another recording, a series of metaphoric journeys into the unconscious mind are mapped out and delivered to you. These journeys will change deep unconscious structures and hence current behaviour. Change your life today. Sign up for Reverse Speech Session Work. Go to www.reversespeech.com or call 503-568-7077.
Known worldwide as the most consistently fascinating, informative, and unique program on radio, the Jeff Rense program can be yours to listen to anytime, anywhere, whenever you want to hear it. For pennies a day, our subscribers can download any of Jeff's thousands of programs featuring a treasury of newsmakers, researchers, eyewitnesses, and incredible subjects, all in MP3 commercial-free, crystal-clear 56-bit digital sound, and take these often unforgettable programs with them wherever they go. As a subscriber, you can also listen live at airtime, online, anywhere in the world, or browse through our archives of over 6,000 hours of legendary broadcasts. Subscribe now by taking the link at the top of Rense.com and enrich your mind with the most unique panorama of vital information and the best independent, honest journalism in radio. Look for the Subscribe Now link on Rense.com and give yourself the knowledge you need for these unprecedented times. You're listening to the Rense Radio Network, nationwide and worldwide on the net and at Rense.com.
We are back for hour 2 of the weekly Reverse Speech Show, normally brought to you from Australia, but right now I am way up in Canada. There you go. Can't get much further on the planet from Adelaide, South Australia to British Columbia, Canada. That's a long way. There we go. Okay. Now my guest for this hour is the first time I've had her on the show. Her name is Barbera Salerno. She's a reverse speech student. Doing very, very well. I've been absolutely super impressed with all the reversals she's turned in. Barbara, do you have your investigator certificate yet?
I just got it this week from Annie.
Oh, good. Yes, I knew you were on your way to getting it, but I didn't know whether you had it. Oh, that's great. Well, anyway, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, David.
No, my pleasure. So, how did you get involved with reverse speech? Tell us a little bit of the background. What brought you into the field?
Well, I've always been really drawn to, I would say, the supernatural, metaphysical, I guess, what's behind things, the reality behind what we see. And as a child, I was interested in the supernatural, ESP, and that encompassed a lot of other things. So growing up, I became interested in astrology and started learning that. I never really was a professional. It was like a hobby. It's been my hobby for many years. And I began to work with a form of astrology called event astrology, which is where you take the horoscope, not of a birth of a person, but the time of an event, and it can tell you a wealth of information about that event. And somewhere go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, okay.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard you say something. Anyway, I started working with the astrology of crime, which we call forensic astrology. I started to learn about that, I guess, it was about 13 years ago. And so I started to research famous crimes, which I've always been a true crime buff, so this just fell right up my alley. And I started to research crimes in the news and apply the astrology to it and see what results I got. So back in 2004, there was the trial on TV of Scott Peterson.
Yes.
Who was, a young man whose pregnant, beautiful young wife went missing right around Christmas, and the whole nation was caught up in the tragedy of it. And some people suspected him, but nobody really knew. And so I was doing the astrology of that. And so I'm doing some research because you have to really research a crime in order to understand what you're reading. And so I'm researching it, and I come across reversals of Scott Peterson on the Internet. And it was you had done speech reversals of Scott Peterson, which showed he was dead to rights guilty, which concurred with my findings in my astrological, setup of the horoscope and all that. So I thought, what is this? Oh, instantly, it's something unconventional. I'm drawn to it like a moth to a flame. And I had to learn about reverse speech. So back in 2004, I bought your book and cassette tape set that you had out at that time. And I was just fascinated by it. And then I went and bought your little Sony reversing machine. Remember those little Sony things?
Keep that one. If you've got it.
Yeah, they were great, and they started to break down. I couldn't find replacements. And it was, I thank God for the software you have now, because back then, I don't know, David, how you persevered with cassette tapes and turning them upside down and reversing them. I don't know how you did that. That was so difficult. But anyway, I give you all the credit in the world for that, because when I started, I was recording stuff on cassette tapes off of TV shows, and you know how bad that sounds. It's like fuzzy and high-pitched, and it was terrible. Well, in a nutshell, I didn't hear anything in reverse.
Oh, right.
And I wanted to learn. I was trying too hard to hear. You have to kind of let things come to you. I learned that as a student, these past several months. You have to let it come to you. And I was here, I'm trying to hear stuff. I never heard anything. And it was so discouraging. And I thought, well, I was working and I have had other hobbies, and I was really into the astrology I was doing. I thought, let me put this on the shelf, but someday I promised myself I'm going to learn this.
Okay.
As time went on, I listened to you whenever I could find you on the Internet and your shows. I would listen to the reversals. And eventually, as I wrote about in one of my homework essays for you, I played back a phone recording from a friend, just a basic, telephone message. And in reverse, I heard her say, "Hi, Barb." And I thought, thank God, I finally, it finally broke the ice. And after that, it's an amazing thing. Once you start to hear the reversals, you can always hear them. Anybody out there that's thinking of learning this, that's all you have to know is it takes some patience. But once you hear them, then I started really hearing them, and then I started really listening. So this was 2004, but fast forward to 2016, I finally decided I had time to take the class, and so that's when I signed up, and I started really working at it before the class started because I was so intimidated by the software, and I thought, geez, I hope I can start hearing stuff, because I really hadn't, I'd listened to you, but I hadn't done my own work. So I started playing around with the software, and then all these crimes that I've studied, actually I've written 2 books on forensic astrology, so I've done a lot of research into crimes and also with the reversals in mind. So I started listening to every serial killer I had ever heard of. If I could find them on a recording on YouTube, I started listening, and it has been really nothing short of a mind-blowing experience. And I think you'll see in the ones I sent, and I kind of have half and half. I did some crime stuff. One of the cases that we'll talk about when we get to it, I just have to tell you, it is so mind-blowing what happened in this case. But the first part is I wish we had reverse speech from like 300 years ago. I mean, I would love to hear like Abraham Lincoln and George Washington. I wish we could hear these guys. But anyway, I went in search of the oldest recorded voice I could find. And I don't know if there's others. I found Alexander Graham Bell.
Okay, so what reversal is that? Which one?
That's the first two on my list. I don't know if you want to jump into it right away or not. But
let's go.
Anyway,
let's go.
Okay, so the first one is really, it's a very bad recording, but I think I heard that. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
Well, it is a bad recording. And backwards, what do I say? Oh, it's clearer than forwards.
Yes, I know.
Clear as day. Listen to that. Okay, listen to this, folks. I'll run the forwards again. Can you tell me what he's saying forwards?
He's saying, hear my voice. Hear my voice forward, I think.
Okay. Anyway, and what do I say? That's a great one.
And then sorry.
Oh, wonderful. That's okay. And the
then
next
in
one.
Alexander Graham Bell, he's got another reversal, which I actually did a little research on that. But you can.
Oh, to hear that.
Well,
okay.
He's saying 4 more. I'm sorry. I think he's saying wait 4 years. And so that was 1885, and I thought, well, what happened in 4 years? So I did a little checking, and he actually he was tinkering around in a little workshop, and in 1889, he built a fabulous laboratory, which helped him advance all of his inventions. I think that what it is. You don't really know, but it could be. It could be.
Predictive premonition reversal. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so here's the forwards. And wait 4 years. Oh, yeah. Wow, great reversal. Wow, good job. Wow, you really picked this up with it. Good on you.
Yeah, and I was amazed because the entire forward is reversed, you know. What do I say? I'm sorry. What do I say? 4 more years or whatever that was. And It was the whole thing. So that was pretty surprising. There was no gibberish in there.
Yeah, I'll be bothered. Huh, okay. All right, so what's this reversal 3? What's this one?
Okay, this one, I like to do historical events, and actually last weekend was the 80th anniversary of the crash of the Hindenburg airship.
Oh, was it indeed?
Yeah, the radio broadcaster got so emotional and so upset over seeing the cataclysm in front of him. And this happened, I live in New Jersey, this happened right down the Jersey Shore, not very far from me. I do a lot of events that happen locally because you are exposed to it all the time through the media. So they had the Hindenburg anniversary. And so I listened to Herb Morrison. He's the broadcaster that made this very famous transmission when the ship starts to crash, as you will hear in the forward how upset he is.
All right, okay. All right, so here's the forwards.
And the frame is crashing to the ground, not quite to the mooring mast. All the humanity and all the affairs that are feeling around it.
Okay, this is the long reversal. This is our grief, this death. The Lord is an end with you boys. Damn you. Yes, all there. Wow, this is our grief, this death. The Lord is an end with you boys. Damn you. Wow, and again. Well, I'll be bothered. Great reversal.
You can't get any more emotional than that, I don't think.
Right, I know. And normally I don't like long reversals. I actually cringe when they get turned when I see them. But that's a good one. That's nice and clear. So yeah, no problems at all. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So reversal number 4. What's this one?
This one is President Truman announcing the surrender of Japan at the end of World War II. He made this little speech in September of 1945. And I just love this reversal because it's just a beautiful reversal.
Yeah, okay, great. All right, so here we go.
There comes first a sense of gratitude to Almighty God, who sustained us and our allies in the dark days of grave danger, who made us to grow from weakness into the strongest fighting force in history, and who has now seen us overcome the forces of tyranny that sought to destroy his civilization.
This is Sunny Swans.
Sunny Swans.
Sunny Swans.
It's clear as day.
Sunny Swans.
Yeah, well, transformation. Swan is transformation. This is a new day, a new beginning, a new beginning, a new horizon. Wow.
Yeah, it's just such a beautiful image, though, and I just liked it. I just had to put it in.
Oh, no, it's a great one. Yeah, excellent. Wonderful metaphor. Yeah. All right, what's reversal 5?
Now we have J. Edgar Hoover in a committee hearing, Senate committee hearing on organized crime. And he had a lot of, I'm sorry?
When is this? What year?
This was January of 1951. This was heralding the McCarthy era, when they were all like doing witch hunts on communists, and he kind of spearheaded that movement. What he's talking about is this push against organized gambling, which is kind of ironic because he was involved in it. And Hoover was a character. He used blackmail against people to shame them into not talking or to get them to do what he wanted. But he himself was being blackmailed because he was gay and he had been photographed having gay relationships with men. So they had him by the tail as well. So it's kind of I've listened to other sort of reversals that I didn't want to put in here because they weren't good quality. But this one is about gambling and what he says. There's a lot of infighting among the different politicians at this time.
Okay, so 1951. Okay.
Yes.
Organized gambling could be eliminated within 48 hours in any community in this land.
And the reversal says, pals and me are getting to Kennedy.
Pals and me, Henry McMinney.
Oh, yes.
Pals and me, Henry McMinney.
Of course, Joseph Kennedy be talking about.
Pals and me, Henry McMinney.
It had to be Joe because JFK didn't become a senator until 1953.
Right.
And Joe was still calling all the shots back then.
Right. So Hoover, of course, is Republican, well-known Republican. Kennedy's Democrat, for those who don't know, although I think everyone should know that. Wow. So there was bad blood back in 51.
Oh yeah, and I think way before that. I think when Hoover took over the FBI must have been 20s, 30s. There was so much going on, and since, as I had learned that he was being blackmailed, he was kind of giving the mafia a free pass because they had a lot of dirt on him, which is the same kind of thing that he was doing to everyone else. It was kind of like a karmic justice But there was a lot of bad blood. I think you've seen later that how many of these people were involved in Kennedy's demise.
Oh, right. Yes.
I think Hoover was in that club.
Right. Okay. All right. Next one. Reversal 6.
This one was, I took this from Eisenhower's, his very famous speech about the military-industrial complex. That was one of the first speeches I wanted to hear in reverse because it's mentioned so often because it's happening. I mean, we're under the grip of the military-industrial complex, and he had warned about that. He was a lot more moderate than I thought previous to this, but there's a couple of reversals I wanted you to hear because I'm not sure who he's talking about. I think we'll get to those. Those are the next two. But this first one I thought was kind of unusual.
So this is Eisenhower, right?
Yes, Eisenhower. In January 1960 was the speech he made leaving office right before.
Oh, right. His famous where he warned the American public against the military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so here we go.
Until the latest of our world conflicts, the United States had no armaments industry. American makers of plowshares could, with time and as required, make swords as well.
And backwards, a strange reversal. Through a shot buzzer came the karma.
A shot buzzer came the karma.
I'll be bothered.
A shot buzzer came the karma.
Wow. Boy, how do you interpret that reversal?
Well, a shot buzzer is really, it's really called a buzzer shot. It's the shot in a basketball game when there's like 1 second left and somebody shoots a 3-point field goal to win the game. A shot at the very, very end of a game that wins the game. But generally it's a buzzer shot. But I heard shot buzzer so clearly, I just really thought that's what he was saying, plus the fact that it's a shot and he's talking about the military.
Yeah, right. Right. Okay.
I'm thinking it's like this is just turned on the head of a pin. It's just a very recent development since the end of World War II, when he started noticing during, there was the Cold War, there was the McCarthy era, and then the buildup of arms because the communists were going to invade us.
Right.
I think that's what he's talking about, it being a really sudden, recent development is the way I would read it.
Right.
And the karma, well, he references karma in other speeches, and I notice other politicians do too. Further on, we'll hear some from some other guys. But this next one really blew my mind because I'm not sure if he's talking about Edward Snowden, and then it's a premonition, but he mentions him twice in the next two reversals.
So this is Eisenhower still, right? Yes.
I'm sorry?
This is still Eisenhower, correct?
Oh, yeah, this is still Eisenhower. Yeah, there's 3 more of his here.
Okay, all right.
The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government.
Okay, Snowden knew about them. What? That's not Snowden knew about them. Sorry to...
okay. Yeah, that's what I was wanting you to hear this one.
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I hate to do this to you on the air, but I wouldn't pass that one.
You wouldn't pass that? I thought it was iffy, but he mentions it in the next one. Maybe you could nail that one down for me.
I can hear the word Snowden, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
So, but not the rest of it. So here's the next one.
Okay.
Of government. We must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence.
And here is Snowden laid it down. Oh, yeah, that one's there. Yeah, that one's there. That's interesting to get the rules about Snowden from back in Eisenhower in January 1960.
It is, and what's kind of stranger yet is that Edward Snowden talks about Eisenhower's military-industrial complex speech, when he's been interviewed in recent interviews, he has mentioned that speech.
Huh.
And so I thought, well, I don't know. It could be.
How interesting. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving down to reversal number 9. If we've got enough time, we're right at the top of the hour. But tell us who this one is. Introduce it anyway. This is no. We'll wait till after. Don't touch that keyboard back, folks. We'll be back with the final half hour of the David John Oates Reverse Speech Show.
What if we already know how to prevent and to reverse every known so-called disease? What if the government is in cahoots with the allopathic system to hide this information from you to keep you weak and enslaved to their system? What if living a higher quality of life than you ever thought possible was available to you now? Well, it's true. It's easier and more cost-effective than you think, and so life-changing that your only regret will not be having done it sooner. Because you already know what the answer is. Royal Velvet Pure. You've heard Jeff talk about it. You've heard the incredible testimonies that it has scores of benefits and it works for everyone. Now you may not know this. We have partnered with Jeff to empower you, giving you an opportunity we do not give anyone else. When you buy 2 Royal Velvet Pure, we give you another one free. Want to take that first step toward freedom and positive transformation? Go to royalvelvetnow.com. Click on the rinse icon in the upper right-hand corner or call us toll-free, 1-877-488-7423.
Would you like to change your life? Maybe access your deepest potential? Do you have blocks that hold you back or long-term issues you haven't been able to resolve? Then Reverse Speech Session Work is for you. With Reverse Speech Session Work, your voice is recorded and then analysed for speech reversals. These reversals will give a detailed look into the unconscious mind and pinpoint precise reasons for current behavioural problems. Then following another recording, a series of metaphoric journeys into the unconscious mind are mapped out and delivered to you. These journeys will change deep unconscious structures and hence current behaviour. Change your life today. Sign up for Reverse Speech Session Work. Go to www.reversespeech.com or call 503-568-7077. Okay, we're back for the final section of the David John Oates Weekly Reverse Speech Show. My guest is Reverse Speech investigator Barbera Salerno, who is doing very well in the course, and we are playing some of her reversals. So, okay, so who's this next one, reversal number 9?
This one is the final one from Eisenhower's military speech. I thought it was an interesting comment that he makes in reverse.
Okay, so here we go.
The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic process.
And reversal is, he would never ransom you.
He would never ransom you.
Wow.
He would never ransom you.
Wow. Huh.
He would never ransom you.
Who's he? Who's he talking? The reversal's quite clear. But what's he talking about?
I'm wondering if he's talking about himself.
Yeah, possible.
He's old school. He would not sell out the way his successors were doing. That's what I would think anyway. Because he's talking about this is a change coming about, but I would never do this.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think, and he doesn't reference another person in here, so that's kind of what I thought. I just thought it was a really strong declaration from him.
Right. Okay. Oh, look at reversal 10. Oh, my favourite metaphor. All right. Okay. So who's this?
This is Eisenhower speaking after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. He gave a brief discussion to the press in 1963. And they were asking him, are we safe now? Are we going to be okay? What's going to happen?
Yes, I know that speech. Yeah.
Okay.
Should there be any concern, sir, over national security at a time like this? No, I think the whole nation now would be almost all of it security agents.
Will the nation be all right in a few months ahead?
And backwards, She-Wolf will pick out one.
She-Wolf will pick out one.
Oh, yes.
She-Wolf will pick out one.
Great reversal. Wow.
She-Wolf will pick out one.
Okay, well, for those who are new to the show, She-Wolf is the most powerful metaphor of all. She's the mythological founder of the Roman Empire, who suckled Romulus and Remus, who subsequently went on to build Rome. Well, actually, Romulus killed Remus, but we won't get into all that story. But it's the most powerful metaphor of all. I wonder what he means. She-Wolf will pick out one. This is after death.
Yeah, I think it's the nation. The nation will pick out one. I think he's saying they're going to pin it to Lee Harvey Oswald. I know that's how I read it. I don't know.
No, well, okay. Well, I would agree with that. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Because they're asking about the security of the nation. I was like, don't worry, we have our patsy lined up, and one got picked out.
That's totally consistent with my research. You're familiar with my work with the JFK assassination, aren't you?
Yes, I've listened to a lot of it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right, okay. All right, so next one, reverse 11. Who's this we're looking at?
This was
Go ahead.
This is RFK. He gave a very famous talk at the end of the convention at the Ambassador Hotel, the Democratic convention where he was nominated in Los Angeles. And right after that, he was assassinated in June of 1968. So this is kind of a spooky reversal.
Oh, I'm reading it. It is spooky. All right, Here we go. RFK.
The fact is that all of us are involved in this great effort. And it's a great effort not on behalf of the Democratic Party. It's a great effort on behalf of the United States.
And Marta, right here, you see it all.
Motor radio, you see it all.
Motor radio, you see it all.
Yes, certainly there.
Motor radio, you see it all.
Yeah, well, the martyrs are very apparent, and the whole, well, gee whiz, wow. See, wow. Oh, is this next one Kennedy as well? Reversal 12?
This one, actually, no, this is crowd noise. I've often listened to crowd noise because it's interesting what you get from that. And this is the crowd noise following RFK's shooting.
This is
somebody trying to help.
Right. Okay, I know that recording. It's full of noise and people scrambling and screaming and.
Please stay back. Please stay back. Everybody else, just please stay back.
And back was, I've been killed. I've been killed. Wow. Actually, I heard him say, I've been killed. How are you feeling? I've been killed.
Yeah, I did miss that first one, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay, yeah. Wow, let's try it again. Wow, whoa. Boy, that's quite an amazing reversal to find. Obviously someone taking on Kennedy's experience somehow.
Yeah, because he was called in the entire recording. He keeps calling for a doctor, so he's identifying what's happening because RFK was still conscious. Well, he was semi-conscious right after he was shot, and that's why they wanted a doctor. He wasn't dead. So that one, I get interested in the crowd reversals, I have another one at the bottom of this F-15, which is also kind of interesting.
Oh, well, I've got F-13 open now, so let's do this first. Yeah. So
this when Nixon gave his famous resignation speech August of 74.
Okay, here we go.
Throughout the long and difficult period of Watergate, I have felt it was my duty to persevere.
Okay, evil damsel would love that.
Ah!
Oh, my. Oh, dear me. He's a naughty man, Richard Nixon, wasn't he?
Well, that's an interesting pairing, that evil damsels. I mean, that's like, what do we call that in class, a personal metaphor or something like that?
Yeah, that's definitely a personal metaphor. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, he's the evil damsel. But
he sure was.
Oh, dear me. Okay. All right. So next one down, 14. Who's this?
This is still Nixon further on in the speech. I think he's getting an idea of a comeuppance.
Okay. All right.
America needs a full-time president and a full-time Congress.
And Wolf is in the karma.
Wolf is in the karma.
Ooh. I don't hear in karma, I hear in crimer. Oh, I can hear what you hear. Yeah, all right. Okay, look, it's not the clearest verse in the world. Sorry.
Nope.
Okay, I can hear it better on the slower speed. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. No, it's there. It's just not the best one.
Here's another one. This is kind of upsetting. It's crowd noise of people who were looking up at the Twin Towers on September 11th. It was such a strong reversal, I had to put it in. It's just people looking up and reacting.
Oh, okay. So here we go.
God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I told you.
Okay, and backwards. Oh, my God. Get out, devil. Oh, no, devil. Oh, devil, devil. Yeah, you can certainly hear that. It's a bit hard to hear because the audio is so faint, but I can certainly hear the reversal.
Right.
Yeah, there's the last devil at the end. Yeah, well, that's an understandable reaction for her to have, isn't it? So.
Totally, yeah.
Yes, that's classic. Yep. All right. Okay. So next one along. Reverse 16.
We move on to crime, and I just wanted to give a brief explanation of this next reversal because this is the first time that this information is being made known, and it's being made known through the reversal. Just to make a long story short. And back in 1991, near where I live in New Jersey, a little boy went missing and was not found. The mother was suspected, but they could not find evidence. And so nothing happened for a year. And then a year later, they found the remnants of the boy and some clothing in a field near where the mother had worked. Dear. They still did not have enough evidence. And the detectives were kind of suspected, but they just couldn't pin anything on her. And because I lived near where this happened, it was just an uproar in the media, and everybody was upset about it. And it never really left people's minds because it was unsolved. It was a little 5-year-old, innocent little boy going missing, and nobody knew a thing. So it was one of the cases I did crime astrology on, and I actually put it in my first book. I wrote a chapter on it. And the astrology showed me that the mother was involved and that she had been lying. And she kept changing her story and was very suspicious. Anyway, the case went cold for 25 years. So the detectives never gave up. They had a cold case unit that eventually put together enough evidence to indict the mother, who had moved away. And so she had moved away, changed her name, was living in Florida. And so just a few months ago, they arrested her in Florida. She was tried in the courthouse near me and found guilty of the murder of her son, and she's now serving a 30-year life sentence in prison. The thing about this case is that she never confessed. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows the manner of death. Nobody knows anything about it except that there was enough evidence to finally convict her and trip her up on all these lies that she was telling. So it's kind of earth-shaking. I just found this reversal this week, and it's telling us she's confessing in reverse, and she's explaining to us what happened.
Okay. All right. So here we go. Here's the forwards.
We went down and we bought tickets. They lied. Went on 3 times. Went on.
Okay. Backwards. I don't want him. I started sticking a little knife in him. Wow, that's all there. I don't want him. I started sticking a little knife. Listen again, folks. The audio's a bit scratchy. I don't want him. I started sticking a little knife in him. Wow, gee, that's a good catch. That one must have taken you a while to pull that whole reversal out.
I'll tell you, David, I was playing with the equalizer and the volume for about half an hour because that police reporting was so bad. But I heard something there. There's something in there. I just kept playing with the equalizer and playing with it, and then it jumped out at me. But nobody knows the manner of death. If we had reverse speech in 1991 here, this woman would never have gotten away with it for 25 years.
Yeah, right.
This was recorded in 91, and she had 25 years scot-free after that. She moved away, started a new life. So this really blew my mind when I found this reversal. It just completely blew my mind because they didn't have enough evidence to determine the manner of death.
Yeah, wow.
And here she is saying, I started sticking a little knife in him. I mean, I was just shocked when I heard this.
I'm sure you were.
Yeah.
Amazing reversal, wow. All right, next one along. Here we go.
This was Charlie Starkweather. He was a spree killer, and his little spree killings went across Nebraska in the late 1950s, and it sort of became like cult folklore. They made the movie Badlands about him.
Hello?
Yeah. Oh, I thought I lost you for a minute. They made a movie, and Bruce Springsteen wrote a song about it. The killings were pretty famous because it was like the first real spree killing in this. I'm sure it wasn't the first, but it took to the media so much so that it's like it's still like a cult icon type of a thing. And he was a teenager when he did all these things. The reversals, I was looking for something to explain how could people do stuff like this, and I think I got an answer.
Okay, all right, so here's the forwards.
I hate people because they laugh at me all my life and call me ugly names.
Okay, everybody mocking the cattle-minded faggot? Okay.
Everybody mocking the cattle-minded faggot.
Oh my God, that's what it says. Everybody mocking the cattle-minded faggot.
And we wouldn't say that here in New Jersey, but in Nebraska, in the Midwest, where there are cattle-minded means you're stupid. It's like an insult. I don't know if it's contemporary, but that jumped out at me, and I thought, well, that makes sense. It was Nebraska. And that's the kind of insult that, I've heard that before. You're cattle-minded. So he apparently had a huge inferiority complex. It doesn't explain what he did, but I find in reverse these people really are trying to show something about what went wrong.
Right, yeah.
In their personality.
Well, the unconscious mind wants to speak the truth, you know?
Yes,
it's just
yes.
the way it is.
Yeah.
All right, next one, reversal 18. Tell me this one.
This one is still Starkweather talking about he's talking about how these killings are going to make him famous. He idolized James Dean, and actually he wore his hair like James Dean. He wore it in the huge coif that people wore in the 50s. And it's bizarre because he's saying, I'm looking forward. He was sentenced to death, and it was carried out very quickly after his trial. He went to the electric chair. But he wanted to die because he wanted to meet James Dean in heaven, which shows you, I mean, you don't kill 12 or 13 people and go to heaven. I mean, it's a little bit delusional on his part, but like I said, I'm studying crime and trying to figure out where people are coming from. So that's this reversal. I am not sure. He had a girlfriend who was his sidekick on this killing spree, and she went to jail for several years, but she was eventually released. I'm not sure who he's addressing in this. Maybe you could shed some light on that for us.
All right, okay, so here's the forwards.
I'm going to be famous for all time, just like my idol James Dean. And I'm looking forward at dying so I could go to heaven and meet my idol James Dean.
Oh, my God. Girl Wolf, live without me.
Girl Wolf, live without me.
Oh.
Girl Wolf, live without me.
I don't think it's live without me, sorry. The Girl Wolf is very clear.
Yeah, there's a click in that recording which made it kind of hard to understand. So I'm not sure exactly what that is.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either.
I thought it was live, but he didn't.
Yeah, anyway, Girl Wolf is there. No, that doesn't really shed much light. Sorry. All right, let's move on to the next one. Who's this one? Reversal 19.
This one was one of the policemen who first responded to the call of Marilyn Monroe's death. I've done a lot of research and writing on that because I really think she was murdered. And so I listened to his, he did an interview, I believe it was in the 1970s, that he's talking about what he found. And some of these are not really clear reversals, but I did put them in because he's suggesting himself that there was a cover-up.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so here's the forwards.
Marilyn Monroe was murdered.
Okay, screwed up the law in the morning.
Screwed up the law in the morning.
Oh, yeah, that's clear.
Screwed up the law in the morning.
Absolutely.
Screwed up the law in the morning.
Did he say that the law was put off or messed with?
He pretty much said that it was a shoddy investigation and a lot of things were overlooked or removed from the scene.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yep. All right, okay. And the next one, this is Marilyn Monroe 2, reversal 20. Sorry?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Reversal 20. Who's this?
Oh, yes, 20. He's talking about Marilyn's psychiatrist who was on the scene when the police arrived and who never really wanted to discuss the case because I think, he knew stuff that wasn't supposed to be known about her murder.
Right. Well, there was rumored that they were having an affair, but they weren't, if I remember correctly. I think it was just vicious rumors going around at the time. Anyways, however, this reversal might imply something different. So here's the forwards.
Dr. Greenson, who lived a short distance away, came over as soon as he could, broke a window outside, gained entry into Marilyn's bedroom.
And here was a seduction. Wow.
Here was a seduction.
Oh, yes.
Here was a seduction.
I'll be bothered.
Here was a seduction.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Right. Okay, well, anyway, all right. Well, the reversal
And the next one is a funny reversal. I think I'm hearing it accurately, but it pretty much wraps up what he thinks of the investigation.
Oh, really? Okay, just hang on 1 second. I just dropped my mouse on the floor and the battery went flying out of it. I've got it. Okay. So, here we were. Okay, so here's the forwards.
There's a lot of reports about her having a phone in her hand. There was not when I was there. And the whole house, or the part I saw the house, everything had been picked up.
This one says, the law set up with a saw hole in it.
The law set up with a saw hole in it.
I'll be bothered.
Law set up with a saw hole in it.
What on earth do you think that means?
I just think he's saying there was a hole in the way the whole procedure went about, being done. A saw hole.
I see.
It's got a hole in it. It doesn't hold water, I guess.
Right. Okay. Yep. No, that makes sense.
I think that's what he's saying.
All right. Okay. Next one along.
She might give you poison in your champagne.
Who's this?
Reverend Jim Jones, who engineered the Jonestown Guyana mass suicide.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, measuring in his own bullshit. Yeah, absolutely.
She might give you slow.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah, measuring in himself, we'll see.
Oh, it's clear.
Yeah, measuring in himself, we'll see.
Oh, my.
Yeah, measuring in himself, we'll see.
Yeah, well, it had to be. Well, how many lives did they take? 300, wasn't it? Wasn't it 300?
No, it was 900. 900 and something.
900?
900 men, women, and children.
Wow. I remember when that happened.
Yeah, I do too. It was very upsetting, and it's interesting. He's saying in forward she might poison your champagne, and then he's measuring in his bullshit. But what he did was measure the poison into the cups.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah, of course. How could anyone do that? I mean, just don't get it. Listen, Barbara, we're going to be running out of time in a couple of minutes. Do you want to get any contact information out or anything you want to say to the listeners?
Sure. If people were interested in my work, my email is bdastrology@gmail.com. It's letters B as in Barbara, D as in David, bdastrology@gmail.com.
Okay. All right. Great. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Who's this? Reversal 23.
We've still got Jim Jones doing one of his rants to his followers.
Okay, so here we go.
Let the night roar, because they can hear us. They know we mean it. We'll kill them if they come.
Okay, monsters and I screw, hear me warn you. Wow. Oh, wow, what a reversal. Wow. Wow, that's a nice clear reversal, wasn't it? Wow. Not a nice man. Not a man I'd like to have at as my pastor. All right. All right, Barbara, we're at the end of the show. Thank you so much for being my guest. We'll have you on again, and good luck with your reverse speech studies, okay?
Thanks for having me, David. Take care.
Yeah, my pleasure. Speak to you soon. Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. We'll see you all next week with another great David John Oates Reverse Speech show. Bye. Would you like to change your life? Maybe access your deepest potential? Do you have blocks that hold you back? Or long-term issues you haven't been able to resolve? Then reverse speech session work is for you. With reverse speech session work, your voice is recorded and then analysed for speech reversals. These reversals will give a detailed look into the unconscious mind and pinpoint precise reasons for current behavioural problems. Then following another recording, a series of metaphoric journeys into the unconscious mind are mapped out and delivered to you. These journeys will change deep unconscious structures and hence current behaviour. Change your life today. Sign up for reverse speech session work. Go to www.reversespeech.com or call 503-568-7077.
Known worldwide as the most consistently fascinating, informative, and unique program on radio, the Jeff Rense program can be yours to listen to anytime, anywhere, whenever you want to hear it. For pennies a day, our subscribers can download any of Jeff's thousands of programs featuring a treasury of newsmakers, researchers, eyewitnesses, and incredible subjects, all in MP3 commercial-free, crystal-clear 56-bit digital sound, and take these often unforgettable programs with them wherever they go. As a subscriber, you can also listen live at airtime, online, anywhere in the world, or browse through our archives of over 6,000 hours of legendary broadcasts. Subscribe now by taking the link at the top of Rense.com and enrich your mind with the most unique panorama of vital information and the best independent, honest journalism in radio. Look for the Subscribe Now link on Rense.com and give yourself the knowledge you need for these unprecedented times. You're listening to the Rense Radio Network, nationwide and worldwide on the net and at Rense.com.